Justiguy has arrived, and we are about to jump right into Chapter 5 of Meakashi, which is Chapter 5 of Higurashi. But boy, do I have a bad feeling about this. President, if you would. For a moment, I forgot that last president. Wow. What the hell did I don't even know what I just said. For a moment, I forgot that the class president was me. Uh, 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 uh. All rise. Looks like you didn't get enough sleep. I know it's been very hot at night lately. Perhaps you could use some curry. Hmm? But, try to get as much sleep as you can. All right, everyone? Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure this place can be called a school. Because there are so many different age groups. It's like a kindergarten and an elementary school combined and blended together. Since I'd heard already about what this place was like, I didn't feel that uncomfortable. It wasn't too difficult to act like me on here. As Sis told me, Satoshi-kun looked exhausted. I said hi to him, but he ignored me. I knew what he'd been going through. What he'd been going through in looked apparent to me. I was interested in another person in the classroom. Satoshi-kun's little sister. He looked as worn out as Satoshi-kun, motionless, like an abandoned doll. Everybody in this room was aware of their circumstances, but no one could do anything for them. So they just acted as though nothing was wrong. Shion will only let me have this one day. I slacked off even a little bit today. Today would be over with. There's my mouse is right over. Yep, there's a comma right beneath where my mouth was. Mouse is what I said. I am not sitting here with my face pressed up against my monitor. Thank you very much. If I slacked off even a little bit, the day would be over with quickly. I had to figure out what I should do in this limited time. I should probably talk to Satoshi. About what? Anything goes. Anything goes. Count the medals. 1, 2, and 3. Cheer him up. Sympathize with him. Anything will do. More than anything. Just wanted to chat with him. However, Sis had told me, Sis High Definition had told me, she said Satoshi-kun didn't communicate with her much lately. Distanced himself from her. I figured I shouldn't talk to him too casually. I wanted to, but maybe it was better to leave him alone. I needed to keep Sis's warnings, but instead, I decided to ignore them. Ha I looked for Satoshi-kun during lunch break. He was walking as if looking for a place where he could be alone. I caught him in the hallway. Satoshi-kun turned around, startled by my voice. His facial expression surprised me. He was scowling. Clearly, a sign of rejection. But I could not hesitate. I'd lose my only chance if I did. Hey, how are you? He gave me a look as if saying, "Hey, sure, I look fine to you. You for fucking real, girl." I never expected to see an expression like that on his face. I felt like my heart was being torn into pieces. As I looked down, he spoke to me. I felt a little glad, but the next thing he said changed that. "I'm fine. Is there anything else?" Eh? "I'll get going if there isn't, because I want to be alone." "Oh, okay. I guess you're tired from work. I'm sure you want some time to yourself. You're working today too, right? Where at?" This had found several jobs for him. He worked at a few different places. He was helping out when necessary at any of the jobs Mion introduced him to. As a result, he constantly had to do different tasks in a different environment almost every time. On top of that, he requested high-paying jobs from Mion because he wanted a large sum of money as soon as possible. In other words, he chose to mostly do manual labor. He was exhausted every day because he wasn't that physically strong. Doesn't matter. Shouldn't you know? You helped me get the job. Mion did help him get the job. Yet, Satoshi-kun didn't look thankful for that opportunity. This wasn't like him at all. No! Clearly, I know him so well. Wait. What the fuck? What? Uh-oh. Hold on a moment, citizens. Never mind. Thought something fell over. It did not. I apologize. Doesn't like him at all. It made me feel sad. You're right. Sorry. At all. He sounded so harsh. Kinda hot. Why was he being like that? He ever struck my head again? Oh. Couldn't help my tears. They flowed onto my cheeks. Satoshi-kun looked confused for a moment, but then he frowned again. Sorry. The coach said he wanted you to come back to practice. Ha 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 ha. I told him I quit, so I won't be going back. But maybe it's a good idea to work out from time to time? No? Not interested. I didn't know why he was being so hostile towards me. Why did he hate me so much? I was left bewildered. Why? How come? Because I'm busy with work. Isn't it obvious? No, I didn't mean that. Why do you hate me so much? Why don't you ask yourself? Ask myself? What? What did I do? I don't understand, Satoshi-kun. I couldn't control my emotions any longer. Streaks of tears ran down my cheeks. Satoshi-kun gave me a hateful glare. Walked away without saying another word. Couldn't even stop him. I couldn't even stop him. I tried. Hurt me again with another cutting remark. Couldn't bear that. So I just watched him walk away. I wiped my tears. Went back to the classroom. I heard somebody crying from inside. What's going on? I looked around the room to see. It was Satoko. I saw her bento box on the floor. I asked one of her classmates what happened. And it seemed that Satoko had bumped into somebody's shoulder when she stood up to go wash the box out. That was all. but Satoko was crying as if afraid she was going to be chided badly. What happened was very minor. Oh god, Shion, fuck off. You could just pick up the bento box and things would be fine, but she's... It looked like that lid came a little loose, but it was definitely fixable. Didn't have to cry like that. Satoko started begging through her tears. Help! Help me, Nini! Ah! Because of what happened with Satoshi-kun, my very clear lack of empathy and, frankly, narcissism, I couldn't suppress my... Well, no, I mean... Because, I mean, I threw that out there kind of casually, but I actually am retracting that, given the earlier stuff in this chapter. Fine, I apologize, Shion. Anyway, Satoshi-kun, I couldn't suppress my emotions very well. I get the feeling that's going to be an understatement. So instead, loaded. I stormed up to Satoko while elbowing her classmates aside. Wouldn't they also be children? I grabbed her by the head and threw her into the wall? Why are we still having the piano music for this? Satoko screamed. She didn't seem to understand what had happened. She was shedding tears and shivering. You must be wondering why I did that. You know why I did that? Help, Nini. Satoko cried for her brother's help again. So I grabbed her head and threw her again. Satoko stumbled and crashed into a desk. It dawns on me that... I'm just going to throw the thing up real quick. If the speculation I was speculating about Teppei earlier is correct, I'm very sorry for interrupting this emotional scene with this, but if Teppei only goes after her on the year of the fifth curse, or whatever, however you want to phrase it, then doesn't that mean that no matter what happens, Shion would have been more physical with Satoko than Teppei in all the times when Teppei doesn't show up? I mean, again, this is all predicated on the big, right, which is a right now big if that Teppei is kind of just not there on the fourth year. But still, just a thought. Anyway, sorry for interrupting myself. And so I grabbed her head and threw her again. Satoko stumbled and crashed into a desk. The desk fell and the contents of the drawer scattered about. Satoko didn't even stand up. He just crouched and trembled while looking up at me. Help! Help! Ini! If you weren't like that, Satoshi-kun would suffer. Don't you get it? But Shion, you're so fucking dumb. That's what I wanted to say, but I was too angry to utter another word. I picked up a bunch of textbooks from the floor and threw them at her face. Cry as much as you want, but nothing's gonna change. Why are you crying? Because you think somebody's gonna help you? You don't have any idea what he has to go through to protect you, do you? Do you understand that? Do you understand what you're doing? You shouldn't exist. Die if you don't want to suffer. Go fuck yourself. Don't hurt Satoshi-kun. You deserve to die alone. You just deserve to die. Nini. Her desperate cries only increased my irritation. Stop crying. Don't call your brother for help. Stop it. If you weren't like that, if only you... I kept on throwing things there. Where the fuck is Rena? She tore into KG. Whatever, it was a year later. Maybe she was more comfortable. Anyway, Satoko curled up to protect herself and cried even harder. At that point, a girl with long hair ran up and huddled over her. I knew who that was. Furude Rika. One of Satoko's only friends. Please don't hurt her. That's my job. She's in a poor situation, so please don't hurt her. Let it improve and then bring her crashing back down like I do. It doesn't matter how pathetic she is. She shouldn't rely on Satoshi-kun all the time. Stop spoiling her. Satoshi-kun has to suffer so much because of her. No, stop. Don't hurt her. Rika also became the target of my anger. I'm trying to teach her something here. If you keep getting in the way, I'll crack your head open. I grabbed a chair and lifted it over my head. It wouldn't hurt only a little if I threw this thing at them. Rika tightly closed her eyes and covered Satoko with her body. I didn't care what the consequences would be. Yeah, clearly. I didn't care if I hurt them. Oh, you weren't even here, were you? Stop! Michan! Then I returned to the classroom and shouted at me. Then, Satoshi-kun rushed in while pushing Rena aside, seeming to have grasped the situation immediately. I know I keep interrupting this. I don't know, I guess it's okay because this is the answer arcs now. I really hope Rena and Mion had a talk about the fact, like, I don't give a shit that Satoshi or even Rika, honestly. Maybe, yeah, and Satoko. I hope they all kind of had, like, a powwow at some point. It's like, oh, by the way, you know that time, that wasn't me. Just saying, like, I hope that kind of came out at some point. That you know, anyway. Grasped the situation immediately. He charged straight at me. Until my body had hit the locker, I didn't understand what had happened. There was a loud crashing noise. I'd left a dent in it. I crouched there in pain. Satoko, are you alright? Satoko pushed Rika aside and jumped at her brother and started crying again. What happened? Why were you treated like that? Why? I didn't do anything, but Mion-san, she suddenly... What's going on, Mion? Satoshi-kun shouted at me while clutching his sister. He looked fierce. What did Satoko do to deserve this? What did we do? Why do we always have to suffer like this? Why? Why? He released Satoko and rushed up to me, grabbing me by the neck. You said that I should ask myself, didn't you? Oh, why don't you ask yourself? Ask what? I know you feel she's a burden on you. You always have to suffer because of her. You know that, right? If she were stronger, you wouldn't have to suffer. She's the one to blame. I don't believe what I said was wrong. But after hearing it, Satoshi-kun went berserk, as he should have, because he's not a fucking lunatic. What the heck do you know? Satoshi-kun grabbed my hair and threw me at the wall, just like I did to Satoko. However, I wasn't going to back down. I no longer had any control over my emotions at all. I spent so much time protecting her. She'll never stop relying on you until you stop doing that. What the hell do you know about us? What the heck do you know? You persecuted our parents and now it's us? That's the way of the Sonozaki family, huh? You torture traitors for fun. Is it fun? Is it fun bullying us, huh? Stop it! That was Rena's voice. She stepped in, looking as fierce as a demon. Satoshi-kun, please Michan doesn't have any bad intentions. She wanted to help you, but she lost control a little. Okay? Satoshi looked like he wanted to say something back, but he chose not to. Because honestly, then most of the time you got your head on your shoulders. I can't believe I'm saying that. But you can't tell me someone doesn't have bad intentions when let me go back here. Let's just put this here. Let's see here. She was just telling a child to let's see here. Shouldn't exist. They should die. They should go fuck themselves. They should they deserve to die alone. They deserve to die. They were, and then she was going to then just kill her Enrika because, or smash them with chairs. I mean, you too, Michan. I know how much you worry about Satoshi-kun. You can't solve the problem like that. I think you understand, right? She does not. And Satoshi-kun didn't say anything. I kept quiet too, but she does not. Here, Satoshi. You don't have to cry just because you dropped your bento box, right? You feel better now? Satoshi, the bento for you. Oh. Oh. Nika started picking up the bento box while its owner continued to cry. Guys, can you help us clean up? The teacher will be back from the vegetable garden soon. This quarrel is over, so don't tell her about it. Okay? The classmates looked at each other and nodded. Started picking up the stuff on the floor. Here, Satoshi-kun, Michan. Why don't you guys shake hands as a sign of reconciliation? Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Tears started to roll down my cheeks again. God, you... Sorry, too. You have nothing to do with our family situation. Sorry. Okay, Michan, why don't you apologize to Satoshi-kun now? I was fine with apologizing to Satoshi-kun, but I didn't want to apologize to her. The situation wouldn't be settled otherwise, so I reluctantly apologized. Oh. Satoshi nodded, looking discouraged. After that, Rena let me go. Head ached, so I held it with both hands. What was that? What did I do? Want to use this precious time to fight? This had warned me. Told me that I shouldn't talk to Satoshi-kun just like that. I come here for. Wouldn't have come here if I knew this was going to happen. Stupid. You're stupid, Shion. Still not reflecting on the really big elephant in the room, but okay. Was overcome by emotions because I was so worried about Satoshi-kun. But did things go wrong? Were they wrong from the beginning? Yeah, pretty much. Fight with Satoshi. Totally the opposite of what I wanted. I regretted it. I hated myself for it. Didn't blame myself enough. My world had been torn apart. Wish the sky would fall and kill me. Boy, Mion's gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow, ain't she? This sounded both amazed and confused. You know, I'm busy with the festival preparations, but you certainly made things complicated. Sorry. Just tried to say something, but she stopped in the middle. After listening to a few complaints, I started telling her about everything that happened today. Just had to pretend that the trouble I caused today was her responsibility, which must have been very taxing for her. So I won't get the chance to trade spots for a while. I mean, gee, really? Hey, I think you should be more aware of the hassle I have to go through. You're right. I mean, setting aside everything else, you could I mean, you uh, there is the matter of a friendship you kind of possibly, well, I mean, didn't, but could have destroyed among all the other stuff. This had been sympathetic, but maybe I pushed her too far this time. Maybe. Of course, she'd be hesitant to trade spots considering what I did today. The atmosphere felt awkward, so were both silent for a while. If you were to get another chance, what would you do, Shion? That was a reasonable question. I I wasn't prepared to answer. I had a chance to go to the school once again and see Satoshi-kun. What would I do? Would I apologize to him about today? I don't think that would. That might even upset him again, no matter how hard I tried. Hey, here's something that he was saying. Was the Sonozaki family been harassing it? It would only be natural for him to hold a grudge against us. But why was he only expressing that now? I've been a Sonozaki all along. Satoshi-kun broke my head, even though he knew that I was Lucky Meow. Yes. Do you think that Satoshi-kun is holding a grudge against you? I mean, he told you he was. I think so, yes. It was our family that initiated the persecution of the Hojo family, making them into the scapegoats. Even after the damn conflict, it wasn't easy for the Hojo family to live in Inamizawa. Given all of that, not surprising that Satoshi-kun hates us. Sonozaki family who put his family in a devastating situation. But why now? Why is he only expressing that grudge to us now? Why is this happening now? If he wanted to. Oh. Ah. If he had rejected me in the first place, I wouldn't have wanted to get close to him. My tears wet my cheeks. I didn't bother to wipe them. It's only natural for him to hold a grudge against the Sonozakis. There's nothing unusual about it. Rather, why has he been treating me like a friend? I knew how stupid this question was. I think because he was sure. I can't understand it. Ah, 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 ah. He'd been treating me as a friend because he was mature? Now that he'd become stressed mentally and physically, he decided to reject me? No matter how hard I thought about it, I couldn't find anything to fault him with. If there were somebody to blame, it'd be somebody I'd never accused before. Oh, are you finally putting the fucking pieces together? Why? Oh. I mean, okay. This is probably right. Maybe in a hypothetical situation, if the Hojos had been able to live normally, the uncle and aunt wouldn't have gotten all fucked up. We don't know how bad they got it right now, so maybe. But like in the immediate, it is no. You are still missing the very obvious and clear person. It is the aunt, Shion. Why did the hag decide to persecute the Hojo family? Eh? Uh, his parents who supported the dam project, right? Toshikun had nothing to do with it. Why was he included? Why? I do not like that. Young couldn't say anything in return. Actually, it wasn't at all hard to guess the reason. The hag didn't give any specific order to harass the Hojo family. She just thought the Hojo family was getting in the way. The people around her noticed what was bothering her and took steps to get rid of it. Though, of course, she must have known how influential her own words were. She just didn't think it. She didn't just think it. She gave what she must have known would be interpreted as an order. She's the one to blame for initiating the attack on the whole Joe family. It's because that's the difference. It's because she doesn't give a fuck about Satoko. She truly doesn't. And if not for, oops, and if not for, hold on, I gotta put it up again. And I don't know if I ever knew or if I forgot, but is it ever really? Because I feel like Keiichi's changing relationships are pretty well justified. I'll even go as far as to say that just by seeing the nightmares, Teppei, I would even say, is justified. But does Shion giving a single fuck about Satoko in later installments, beyond an extension of Satoshi, if she even does, is that at all justified? Like, or is it just hey, happy ending, blah 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 blah? Especially considering kind of a big spoiler for Go I'm about to mention, like right now, so we leave. But I mean, we know Satoko stopped giving a shit about Satoshi, so she grew up, kind of. I mean, I guess given this week, Satoko, but I mean, I'm not gonna get into that argument. Anyway, all right. Anyway, I'm putting down my spoiler warning thingy. So again, sorry for the interruption. Again, I guess the answer arcs might be full of these. I don't know. We'll see. Ojo family, you said before that the Furude priest wasn't mature because he didn't cooperate, right? Is this the same scenario? The Hojo family wasn't mature because they didn't act in accordance with the other villagers? That's why the hag decided to punish them, isn't it? Mion couldn't say anything in return, meaning that my accusation was the truth. They already punished the Hojo couple. Feel free to bring them to the torture room in the garden and chop their fingers off or something. But leave Satoshi-kun alone. Satoshi-kun has nothing to do with this. What did he do to deserve this? What did he do wrong? Answer me. Answer me. Mion. Mion. Very well. Please take care of the matter. Goodbye. Mion suddenly changed her tone and hung up. She must have done that to escape from my questions. I was furious. I mean, no, you moron. Someone was probably either her grandmother probably walked up to her. I started redialing the number, but then I remembered that we decided she'd hang up the phone after using that phrase, yeah, when she saw the hag coming. I doubted she actually saw the hag, but it was the rule, so I couldn't call back for a while. I went to the bathroom to wash my face and cool down. I turned the faucet, but the water felt lukewarm. It didn't help me cool down at all. I'm disgusted by my own childlessness. I just wanted to fill my void. I didn't care about him. Oh, considering that, Satoshi-kun was very generous, but I don't know if I can forgive Satoshi-kun. Well, that's even worse! That's actually worse! You're Higurashi's Chloe, Shion! I was looking up at the ceiling with my arms and legs spread out. It's not that I wasn't getting hungry. I didn't live with my parents. I didn't live in the school dorm. That meant I had to cook something myself when I wanted to eat. Yes, very good. I knew that, but I still didn't feel like getting up. God, we're back in Akasaka's hotel room. It had been several days since I began this empty life. Must be tomorrow. Watanagashi Festival. I heard the doorbell ringing. I ignored it at first, but it rung persistently. I started hearing knocking alongside Kasai's rude voice. Shion-san, please open up. I bought some food for you. I didn't ask him to. He must have known that I hadn't eaten enough and that I'd be feeling down lately. Hey, you haven't eaten, have you? No, not hungry. But when Kasai put the food on the table, my stomach reacted in a very primitive way by making some noise. Good night. Good night. Good night. Very primitive noise. Stomach is growling. I believe you need to eat. I was hungry, but had no appetite. I mean, I did have an appetite, but didn't have the energy to eat. I was. I mean, I did have an appetite, but didn't have the energy to eat. Yet I'd feel bad wasting the food Kasai brought. I picked up my chopsticks, just to humor him, but Baka. I thought you were marked by the hag. Is it okay for you to be here? Oryo-san is busy with the festival preparation meetings. She doesn't seem to have time to deal with you right now. Didn't you like croquettes? They're good. Thanks. While I nibbled on the food, Kasai read through the magazines I bought. Have you, I never talked to Kasai about something like this before. Maybe you should have started with him, honestly. I'm kind of interested. Because I've always believed myself superior to him psychologically. I hesitated to show my weaknesses to him. Alright, I'm gonna take a step back outside of myself for a minute and remind myself that, you know what, Shion, you're a fucking child too. I'm sorry, I've been hard on you. That kind of hardship is... There you go, Kasai gets it. That's my man. That kind of hardship is healthy for your age. Hey, you know about that? Shion-san told me a little about it. She said she wanted me to assist you. She did. She looked worried. Your sister is looking out for you. Without responding, I threw the last croquette into my mouth. I thought you might want to know how Hojo Satoshi. I've gathered some information. Would you like me to report? That's not necessary. But since you went the trouble, I think I'd better listen. Kasai chuckled, but stopped quickly as if thinking it rude. It seems that Hojo Teppe has fled the premises. He seems to be staying at his mistress's place in Okinomiya. Teppe? Who's that? Oh, Satoshi-kun's uncle, huh? Their aunt, Hojo Tama... Motherfucker! I didn't know her name was Tamai. Damn it. I mean, that's just a coincidence. It bugs me. It's bullying. Fuck. I don't like that. Oh well, whatever. Satoshi and Satoko are the only ones living in the house now. Ever since Tomai learned that Teppe had fled to his mistress, she's been a foul mood. So that must mean that the aunt is being even nastier to Satoko, and Satoshi-kun is taking more indirect blows. How could you say that and somehow you really did whip it around to make it Satoko? I don't know about Satoshi-kun, but I heard that Satoko-san looks very miserable. The neighbors are spreading rumors about her. If Satoko looks miserable, that means Satoshi-kun must be going through equally miserable torture. And in Shion logic, that means that Satoko must die. Can't you do something about that aunt? Anybody talk about punishing her? She's also one of the remaining Hojos after all. The uncle is gone, so why not the aunt? The main Sonozaki family ruled against further harassment toward the Hojo family after the death of the couple. They say the police still might be staking out their house due to suspicions about the couple's death. The deaths have been filed under Oyashiro-sama's curse. The Sonozaki family thinks no further divine intervention is necessary. Kasai put on a faint smile. Come to think of it, it is hard not to suspect the involvement of the Sonozaki family in all of the incidents said to be Oyashiro-sama's curse. somebody strives to get rid of the hag's concerns on the day of the Watanagashi Festival. Furthermore, the Watanagashi Festival is going to be held tomorrow. Will the curse strike again this year? If so, who will be the victim? Are we gonna find out who was on that phone call? I mean, it had to be Shion, right? Now that I think about it. There were cases, multiple victims in the past. The first and third year, it was just one. But the second year, the victims were a couple. So it wouldn't be too strange if 2 people fell victim this year. Seems like a good time. It'd be best for Satoko and her... That phrase does not belong with music like this. Satoshi-kun will be freed from every source of his worries all at once. Asai, do you know if this year's victim has been selected already? Does the hag make the decision? If so, Sis should know about it by now. Asai, do you know anything? Shion-san, I don't know anything about that matter. Oh, that makes sense. That kind of secret won't make its way to you because you're just small fry. That's true. I have never received any information regarding that from my connections, but as you know, the Onozaki family has access to many underground organizations I have no channels into. Okay, so I believe I'm gonna Google this one real quick because I think I talked about this one back. Asai is then, I guess. No wait. They already might have talked about this. I don't need to Google it. He is That's right. He was childhood friends with her parents, and obviously the Sonozaki side is in the mom, and the dad is. Then he is an underling. Is an underling of the dad, who is a separate Yakuza gang from the Sonozaki family stuff. So he's not technically part of the Sonozaki quote-unquote family. He's a legit Yakuza guy. Okay. I that's my understanding of it. I think I'm on the right page with this. But she won't talk. Strict about keeping promises, unlike me. And she has empathy, and she's a good person. Even though we're identical twins, she's probably better looking than me, and she's nicer than me, and she values human life more than me, probably. I mean, sort of, in a way that someone in her position can. The hag told her to keep a secret, she'd take it to the grave. Damn. Oops, Satoko and her aunt will... Yeah. Hey, Kasai, I just thought of that. Are you going to do something about it? Shion-san, you must be joking. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's not, though. I took a glimpse at Kasai. It didn't look like he was actually going to do something to make my wish come true. I mean, yeah, it's her fucking wish. I wasn't able to go to the village as myself, so I definitely wasn't going to the festival. I didn't care about that. Even so, I was interested in who was going to end up as the victim of the curse. If I just kept lying on this couch playing hooky, somebody would fall victim in several hours. I had no clue why it had to happen every year, but I was certain that the hag was behind it. All the enemies from the damn conflict had been punished. Only the Hojo couple was left. Most of the other enemies had already gone. The cicadas rang loudly outside. It made me feel hot. Why was it this hot and humid in June? If Yashiro-sama was actually punishing people, I'd pray for one thing. I'd pray that the evil aunt would be punished. Thank you! And I'd offer up Satoko as a sacrifice. God damn it. Ha! It's hot. You're a bitch. It's hot. You're almost as much of a bitch as Rika. Yeah, I am going there. I'm still saying Rika's worse than Shion. I am fucking going there, and I'm sticking to my guns on that. Rika has no right not knowing better. Shion I could at least forgive. or ignorance and other things. When I woke up, Kasai had already gone. Looks like he cleaned the table and the surrounding room. He put my dirty laundry into the hamper in front of the washing machine, too. Being a girl of a sensitive age, I didn't want a man to clean my room. Well, I'd rather thank him than badmouth him. Okay, do you want him to be your butler or not? Make up your mind. I looked at the clock. Late afternoon. I had to go grocery shopping. There's nothing left in the fridge. I'd be having just rice for dinner if I didn't go. At that moment... Oh! Really? The phone rang. It must be Kasai, I thought. I did hope it was him. He could have brought more food. So then I wouldn't have to go shopping. While I was just being lazy, I didn't feel like going out at all. But it wasn't Kasai on the phone. This? Where are you calling from? The house? No, I'm calling from a payphone. I'll make it quick. Called you? It probably wasn't. Ah, okay, I'm putting it. Probably wasn't me. He called you, I think. Sounded like he wanted to apologize for what happened the other. Why? So I thought you should take the call. I told him that I'd call back because I was busy, so can you call this number? Okay. I was stunned for a second, but then recovered and wrote down the number on the back of a magazine. Thanks. I'll call right away. Good. He's been extremely stressed these days. I don't think he'll listen to me anymore, but I think he'll listen to you. She could have pretended to be me and handled this call. But she passed it over to me. Why? I mean, I know why. Mion fucking adores her sister for some reason, but... I mean, okay, we know why, but thanks, Mion. See you, Jion. Before she hung up, I put the headset down. Then after a second, I dialed the number in a flash. I heard the dial tone 3 times, 4 times, and there he was. Hojo residence. He sounded like an adult. His voice sounded a bit tired, too, but it was definitely the voice I loved. I got scared. I was scared that he might become sulky again if I mentioned my name. I couldn't open my mouth for a while. Is that you, Satoshi? Oh, sorry that I called you suddenly. Are you okay now? That was him. He didn't sound cold like the other day. Yes, I'm okay now. Good. After that, he went silent. I felt the urge to start a conversation. It wasn't fair. He was the one who called in the first place. Then, finally oh. I'm really sorry for what happened the other day. I'm sorry too. You don't have to apologize. I know you don't mean it, you shallow bitch. Because I was the one... The fuck you say? This woman... This girl had I was holding up a chair to smash your little sister in the head with it, and her friend who had nothing to do with this, and you were in the wrong. If this were a face-to-face conversation, he would be stroking my head. It was sad just talking to him over the phone. I won't forgive those people who forced us into this situation. Okay, so he's thinking bigger picture. Okay, I get it. I kinda get it. You might be close to them, but it was never you personally. Okay, so he is thinking bigger picture. So I wanted to apologize. No, please don't apologize. I was selfish and didn't try to understand your situation very well. But you still really do not give a shit about the little girl you were beating the shit out of, do you? We apologized to each other a few times. Are you alright, Toshika? You're working and you're under a lot of stress. And the girl you're talking to right now, beat the shit out of your little sister a few days ago, surely putting you under more stress that you're just not looking over right now for some fucking reason. Isn't that too much to handle? I quit my job. I have enough money now. Did? That's good. You don't have to push yourself anymore then. That's really good. Satsuki tried to say something, but he dropped it. It rolled away after falling out. Satsuki has it far worse. Seems like it. You alright? He look alright to you? He suddenly sounded upset. I messed up. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was so stupid. It ruined this miraculous conversation with him. Satoshi-kun didn't respond to my apology, so I stopped apologizing. She was tortured until she was literally torn up. Everybody abandoned her. Everybody did. I did. Yes, you did! I tried to calm him down. I hated what I just said because of how hollow it sounded. I had no idea what to say next. I felt guilty. Satoshi-kun was desperate to protect Satoko from their evil aunt. But I'd wished that Satoko would die tomorrow because of the curse. I was trampling on his desperate hope. Are you having some feelings in there? Satoko can't take it anymore, so... Cut himself off in the middle and went quiet for a moment. He must have been choosing his words very carefully. Then he finally spoke. His words sounded hollow. I mean, I want her to have fun for one night. Eh? What do you mean? The Watanagashi festival is tomorrow, isn't it? I want you to take her there. Yeah, I can do that, but why? She's exhausted, so I think she'd be happy if she could get away from our aunt for even just one night. But why? Why? It's not that I didn't understand why he wanted her taken to the festival. What I didn't understand is why he was asking me to do that. Was there any reason? Couldn't take her there himself? I had a hunch he might disappear, so I kept asking. What do you mean, why? Why don't you take her? He fell silent. Satoshi-kun isn't good at lying secrets. It was clear that he wanted to hide something. I just have some stuff that I need to take care of with my work tomorrow, so I can't go to the festival, even though he just told her he quit. He was lying. But he was also stubborn. He wouldn't admit it if I accused him. Can you take her there tomorrow? I wouldn't want to look after Satoko, cause you're a bitch! Even at Satoshi-kun's request, cause you're a bitch! But I'm also glad that he's relying on me. I know it's ridiculous to ask for your help after that incident, but you're the only person I can turn to now. I didn't know what to say. I did know, though, that I wasn't going to turn down his request. Okay, but just for tomorrow, alright? I hope you'll keep looking after her. What are you saying? That? Just for tomorrow. Sounded as if he were going to disappear to it. Didn't like the sound of that, so I intentionally sounded sulky. We talked about trivial stuff for just a little while. When the conversation was almost over, Satoshi-kun asked something else. Hey, Leon, I really hate asking this, since you might think I'm crazy for saying it, but... What? You... don't believe in it, right? Believe in what? In Oyashiro-sama's curse. Aha! Aha! What are you talking about, Satoshi-kun? Oyashiro-sama curses those who leave the village, right? That's the rule. Every kid in the village knows that. That's the rule. What's with that suddenly? Are you planning to leave? Though I was kidding, I wanted him to deny it. Not thinking about that anymore. He admitted that he had thought of it. I guess Anna told me that much. That's good. So you're not leaving the village? No, haven't been forgiven yet. Eh? Satoshi tried to say something, but hesitated, breathing so heavily. Was he sick? Hey, you feel all right, Satoshi? Sorry, I'm fine. I guess you're tired. I think you should get some rest. He sounded distinctly more sickly from when this conversation had started. He breathed heavily when punctuating his words. Satoshi repeated his question. Shion, I'll ask you one more time. Do you believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse? What did he want me to say? Could I make him feel relieved with my answer? How should I respond? The answer was simple. Ha 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 ha. There's no curse. There can't possibly be. I didn't know what was bothering him, but I wanted to make him feel better by laughing at him. His worries away. Uh, but Satoshi-kun instead fell silent. I couldn't tell if he was happy with my answer or not. One thing was certain. Oh! I get it. I get it. He is. Is he. Mion think he wanted Shion, the Shion he knew, and maybe part of that was true, but he is actually doing, or maybe building up the balls to do what Keiichi did when he, um, framework, uh, went over to Mion's house in Tatanegoroshi. Because that's kind of what it feels like. Sorry that I asked such a question. Sorry. I felt like I let him down, so I apologized. Rush. Whether it's a real curse or somebody's conspiracy, I won't disappear and I won't fall victim to it. You won't disappear. No. Not until I buy that teddy bear. I'll get the money pretty soon. I won't go anywhere until then. Chuckled. I knew he was trying to relieve me, but it worked the opposite way. It sounded as though he didn't care what would happen after he bought the teddy bear. Oh, my aunt is home. I have to go. Okay. Him? Huh? Even though he wanted to hang up the phone, but because of his aunt coming back, Satoshi couldn't take a breath to tell me something important. I'll leave. Stantoko. Could have said yes right away. But I still couldn't forgive Setoko for being a child in an abusive household. Oh. I just kept quiet. Forget what I said. Bye. Oh. He was obviously disappointed. What had I done? I wanted to apologize. I wished I could. She's, yeah, I mean, she really doesn't give a shit. But it was too late. I mean, I'm not blaming her for that. Like, I feel like, I need to take a step back. Just, it is good for characters to be flawed. It is better, even if, yeah, but it was too late. The dial tone left no doubt. Now that was depressing. It's not deliberately, it's depressing. Wait, really? That was a short chapter. All right, well, I think we're gonna finish after we finish this tip, so let's just read it. A torn DRI. But he whispered to me from behind. They told me I was going to be the victim of the curse this year, so I'm going to disappear soon. There'll be nobody left to take care of something. Somebody whispered to me from behind. Oh, 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 oh. They told me that I don't have much time. I won't stay as myself for much longer. So I had to make the best of the days I had left. What could I leave for Sotsu? Wanted that. Wanted a peaceful life, and nobody would bully her. Whispered, person, bestow your violent nature, formidable strength upon me. I want your peaceful mind filled with hatred. Okay. Sure. Short tip, too. Just all around short. Short. Like the time there is left until the end. Alright, let's get into chapter 5. And, yeah, it is, as you can see, it is about just about 1 a.m. in the morning. That was redundant, wasn't it? But anyway, citizens, this is the part where I say, well, farewell. So, thank you for joining me this evening. We went through 3 chapters of Meakashi. I did not have to stop partway through in horrible pain. Well, I'd say that's a win all around. We have learned horrible things about Shion, that she is a horrible person, but we kind of knew that, didn't we? We're just getting confirmation at this point, which is, I guess, going to be the theme for this chapter. But anyway, regardless, citizens, until next time, I'm afraid this is going to have to be